From Vermont Public, this is The Frequency. I'm Lexi Krupp. It's Monday, June 30th, and here are today's headlines. After 3 people drowned in Vermont waterways in the span of 5 days this month, officials are renewing calls to swim with caution. Hot temperatures mean many people will head to swimming holes in rivers and streams to cool off. These picturesque spots can still pose dangers, especially after a heavy summer rain. John Wasey is chief of Stowe Mountain Rescue. He says you can take some precautions before jumping into your favorite swimming hole. The most important, don't swim alone.
And I guess the last thing is just always be aware that rivers are dynamic and they're always changing from year to year and from day to day, week to week, depending on flooding and river conditions and water height.
Wasey says a swimming spot that was ideal last weekend could be a danger today. More than half of Vermont's counties have not yet seen their employment levels return to where they were before the pandemic. That's according to the Public Assets Institute, which used U.S. Labor Department data to see how the state has rebounded. Rutland County lost almost 1,500 jobs since 2019, the biggest losses in the state. Addison County saw the largest gains over the past 5 years. Most of the state added jobs last year, but only some counties are showing employment numbers higher than in 2019. Addison, Caledonia, Chittenden, Grand Isle, Lamoille, and Orange counties all have more jobs than before the pandemic. A bridge in Franklin County will be out of commission for 2 months starting today. Georgia's High Bridge between Route 104A and Georgia Mountain Road will undergo construction. It will remain closed through September 8th, according to the St. Albans Messenger. Traffic will be rerouted using Arrowhead Lake Road and other venues for 70 days. The newspaper reports the state's transportation agency inspected the span of the bridge in 2022 and determined it needed various improvements. And many Vermonters lamented the extra wet, cool start to summer this year. But strawberry growers say their crop is thriving, and climate change is part of the reason. Usually when we think about human-caused climate change, we think about warmer winters and heat waves. But scientists say Vermont is also seeing something called a backward spring. That's an early thaw followed by cool, wet weather, even a frost, as late as June. This year was a perfect example, and that weather was perfect for strawberries, which need about an inch of rain a week. Eugenie Doyle of Last Resort Farm in Bristol says when she started farming 40 years ago, the weather was much more consistent.
I think they call it climate chaos, and that really is my experience.
Doyle says this is the best strawberry crop in years. Coming up, we hear a new installment of our periodic series, What Class Are You? We'll hear from Ralph Rockwell and Wolcott after this.
Thanks for listening to The Frequency, where support comes from VITA, supporting business growth and innovation in the Green Mountain State. From agriculture to manufacturing, energy to food production, find solutions that turn your business dreams into reality. Visit VEDA.org and see how VITA can help make it happen.
What Class Are You is a periodic series that explores everyday lives inside the American class system. Ralph Rockwell lives in Wolcott with his wife Carol and about 28 tractors. He runs a towing service part-time and sells some of those tractors he restores. But he's 72 and mostly he's retired from a long career as a mechanic. Reporter Erica Heilman sat with Ralph in his shop next to a tractor he's working on, and they talked about class.
I just consider myself a working man's class, not highly educated. I quit school when I was 15 and worked every day so far in my life. And I just feel if you got enough money to get by and support your church, things are fine, I believe money can be the root of all evil. It corrupts people. People that are super wealthy, they don't have any respect for the lower class people, the working people, I do believe that people with a lot of money, I think they sin a lot more. Like you take some of the actors or football players, and you hear that all kinds of them are into drugs and alcoholism, and some of them even fast cars and getting into trouble. Like they say in the Bible, the money is the root of all evil.
What are you worried about when you look around at the world?
To be honest, I don't really worry. Lord's timing, and everything's going to happen the way He wants it to happen. And worrying won't add one moment of time to your life. If anything, it'll shorten it. But we got a thing saying our property taxes are going to be going up. I love Vermont, and I love living in a place where you can drink water out of the tap, and I like to be able to, the fresh air, and you can breathe, but it's the average person, they're going to price this right out, so it's not going to be affordable to live in Vermont. But I got no desire to live anywhere else, but it may come as time goes on if we have to get off the hill because we're no longer able to plow our own driveway or be safe to get in and out. We may think about moving out of state to where the cost of living is less. We looked at the thing. I got a letter in the mail the other day saying my insurance, supplemental insurance, is going to go up. And we pay it every quarterly, and it was going up a lot. It was like $373. So we're going like, wow. And I called the insurance company. Well, we're sorry to give you the thing, but that's that's the way it is. You couldn't bargain, nothing. I looked at it. My wife looked at it. My Social Security would just barely cover that.
Oh, we're talking about health insurance?
Yeah.
How are you going to pay it?
Yeah. But we just depend on the Lord, and the Lord provides. Car accident comes along, the car sitting out here, I'm waiting for the insurance company, and get up every day and just make a check mark on the calendar.
You've worked every day since you were 15, and yet you're still struggling to pay your property taxes, or you're still wondering whether you can pay your health insurance. What does that say to you?
It feels like there's something wrong with the system. I don't know how they could fix it or change it, but it seems every year I get older and older, I can do less and less. I've had 2 heart surgeries, and the second time I went in, they did replace some of the stents again, and I just didn't bounce back like I did the first time. And a year later, I'm still short of breath. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff around. I'll sell something if it come into hard times, and use that as a source of income. But it is a little bit concerning. As you get older, you can do less, and it seems like everything else is increasing. I just don't know how things are going to go. It's just, I'm thinking that I'll pass away and be gone before too many hard times come. We got a little bit of money saved away, so even though if we're costing us more the cost of living for taxes and insurance, we'll still be able to have enough money to buy food and pay the bills. But when the money's gone, it's gone.
You have worked to support yourself since you were 15 years old. Is there a lot of pride wrapped up in that?
Yeah, there's proud. I take a pride in paying my bills in full and on time. And you can look at everything around here, and we do not have a mortgage on nothing. Everything we got is paid in full.
So you think you're going to be here till you die, and do you think you're going to work until you die?
I pray to work till I die.
You're a person who would probably want to work until you die, But do you have to work until you die?
Financially, to get by, I'd say yes. We've got some money saved, but like if I stopped working today and just tried to live off our Social Security, I'm not sure that we'd outlive our savings. And then where would we be? Be a burden for our family or be homeless or something? And I just learned from a very young age that I don't want charity. I want to be able to support myself and support my family.
This is Erica Heilman with Vermont Public.
Thanks for listening to The Frequency today. We had additional reporting from Howard Weiss-Tisman, Abigail Giles, and Mary Engish. Today's episode was edited by Liam Elder-Connors, and our music is by Blue Dot Sessions. I'm Lexi Krupp. We'll be back tomorrow with more Vermont news.
Planet Money helps you understand the economy. We find the people at the center of the story.
Garbage in New York, that was like a controlled substance.
We show you how money influences everything.
Tell me what you like by telling me how you spend your money.
And we dig until we get answers.
I had a bad feeling you were going to bring that up.
Planet Money finds out. All you have to do is listen. The Planet Money Podcast from NPR.